What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vinyl Fantasy, where today we are continuing the saga of making nasty hip-hop beats. Thank you for stopping by. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you and urge you to please hit like and subscribe if you're feeling my videos.
Hook you up. Fuck out of here, man.
And if you're really feeling my videos, feel free to share them. And guys, new element to the show, Patreon.
Burgers, man, they some double cheeseburgers. Nigga, I just ate, man.
This show is ad-free. I don't like commercials. I hate having to sit through commercials before I watch videos. I don't need to see Matthew McConaughey shaving with a Gillette razor and talking about Lincoln Town cars before my video starts. And so, I'm not gonna make you sit through that either.
Bopping balonies and slapping stinky sausages.
So if you want to support the show, go see my Patreon page. If I get enough Patreon support, I might start paying for my plugins.
And I suck your dick.
Guys, we got a really exciting show for you today. I, as you know, have been getting into more sound and sample design and creation. Meaning, rather than just pulling everything off of vinyl and making beats using samples, I've really been trying to construct my own vintage sounding samples using VSTs and effects plugins. Primarily the Rickenbacker bass plugin, supported by Contact, and various plugins from Arturia. I'm not being sponsored by any of these people to talk about their plugins. Those just happen to be the ones that I have been able to download illegally. And they happen to be amazing. I'm not bragging, I'm just broke and cheap. So we'll just launch right into it today, and I'm gonna break it down like this. This album is called The Price is Right, made by Alan Price. Alan Price was the organist for The Animals, most famous for their cover of House of the Rising Sun, in which Alan Price played a Vox Continental organ like a fucking madman, going on to fuel millions of suburban teenagers, bad acid trips, and long hippie orgies with hairy legs and women with hairy armpits. So Alan Price left The Animals due to exhaustion from a rigorous touring schedule, continued to make music on his own, and he came out and he started his own band, Alan Price and the Alan Price Set. According to Wikipedia, in 1968, Alan Price came out with this album called The Price is Right, and on it, he does a version of I Put a Spell on You. So he started out playing the Vox Continental organ, which was also made famous by Ray Manzarek from The Doors and a ton of other organists slash keyboardists in the 60s and 70s. But then for this album, I was actually trying to figure out what organ did he play, because I want to try to recreate the sound that he uses on this album. And so I just started going down the rabbit hole. The only thing that I could find was a video of him playing this song on a TV show, and there's no markings on the organ or anything, so I had no idea what it was, but I was pretty sure that it wasn't the Vox Continental organ. So I went to Reddit, I posted a link to the video, and it took about an hour before the wisdom of the organ subreddit to let me know that he actually plays a Hammond organ on this song, but it didn't really sound like a Hammond organ to me. I'm not an expert, but I've got a plug-in for the Hammond B3 organ, and it's probably not the exact model that he used in this, but I think we can noodle around with it and sort of recreate the sound that he went with on this. We're gonna see how close we can get. So at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and insert Alan Price playing this song. You'll hear the part that I'm gonna model my sample after, and you'll see the organ that he's playing. It's nasty right now.
I'll put a spell on you. Because you're mine. You better stop the things that you do. I ain't lying. No, I ain't lying. I just can't stand it, babe.
Alright, so now we've got our model. Let's make some babies to the Beat Lab. About to fool around and make my damn tank go numb.
I'll put a spell on you. Because you're mine.
That is nasty. That is absolutely nasty. I absolutely love that. Alright, now, so next step, we are gonna pull up Arturia. We're gonna dive into this B3 and basically try to match the closest sound we can to this. It's gonna be a lot of trial and error. It's gonna be fun. Let's get into the B3.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine.
Alright guys, had to take a little bit of a break in order to spend about 8 hours cooking a Thanksgiving meal for 4 other people that included 2 children that basically just wanted to eat chips and donuts. By the time all was said and done, yeah, we didn't do much for Thanksgiving. We just kind of chilled out, and that's honestly how I kind of like it these days. I guess I'm boring, but guys, let's pull up the Rickenbacker bass plugin in Contact. Next, I'm just gonna go through my drums. I've got a bunch of drum breaks saved that I've downloaded. I'm just gonna find something that sounds kind of slow, because this beat itself is kind of slow. And if I were to try to slow down a really fast sample, it would start to sound like crap really quickly. Too fast. Oh yeah. Let's slow this down. Next, I'm just going to go through, warp this drum sample, make sure that everything is hitting at the right time. Now that I got my loop cleaned up, I'm just going to pull it over into the arrange view, because I'm actually going to build a new drum loop, take out some hi-hat, fudge around the timing of the snare, and make it sound dope. Next, I'm going to run this drum loop through the RC20 to give it some character. Alright, so clearly this manipulated drum break needs some low end. So I've got the Alchemist drum pack. I forget exactly what it's called. Alchemist Secret Sauce. I got the Alchemist Secret Sauce sample pack, drum sample pack. So I'm actually going to just dig in there. I'm going to find a nice fat kick, and I'm just going to find some way to kind of lace this drum break with another fat kick so that it just sounds more full. I'm just going to lay down my bass, my drums, and start messing around with the keyboard. Alan Price also played a Vox organ on House of the Rising Sun. Let's pull it up and see what happens. That's fucking crispy. Next, I'm going to run this through the RC20 for character and add some sidechain compression. Alright, so I'm going to pull my sample over into the arrange view, and I'm not even going to really worry about warping this. Again, there's really no drums or anything that I need to worry about stepping on the toes of my beat, so I can just kind of drop this in and start slicing and dicing. Alright, so I've got all the salt sprinkled in. Now I need to add the pepper. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for us today. Big shout out to Alan Price for this crazy organ inspired beat. I ended up going with the Vox Continental organ plugin. I just liked the way that it sounded a lot better than where I was getting with the Hammond. Both are pretty dope, but I actually ended up leaning more towards the Ray Manzarek-ish Vox Continental organ. I'm a huge fan of the Doors. They're my favorite band of all time. There's a preset that sounds pretty much exactly like Ray Manzarek's organ on When the Music's Over off of the Doors' Strange Days album. I absolutely couldn't resist, so I just ended up going with that. And I think it sounds dusty, I think it sounds nasty, it makes me feel like I took way too much LSD, that my skin's crawling, I'm having a panic attack, I'm starting to see lizards, I'm starting to see constellations. Putting this beat together has definitely been the hero's journey that I was looking for, and I appreciate Alan Price for inspiring that. And I think we got a banger. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share this with your friends if you like it. If there's a loved one that is a fan of Edie Gorham, or if you've got an aunt that saw Alan Price play at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1972 and he autographed her boobs, you know, share that with them. Please support the show if you can, and we will keep it going. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for keeping it nasty. Thanks for keeping it funky. We'll be back again real soon with another installment of Vinyl Fantasy. Over and out. Peace.